Know what's strange? Some of the kindest people you meet are also the most exhausted. They're always available, always agreeing, always saying yes, even when it quietly hurts them. And the strangest part? Most people don't even notice the cost except the person living it. We all think we understand what it means to be nice. We assume people who can't say no are simply generous, helpful, or selfless, but that's not the full story. Because behind that constant yes is often something far more complex, something rooted not in kindness, but in fear. Picture this. Someone asks you for a favor you don't have time for. You hesitate. Your mind races. You imagine disappointing them, being seen as rude, maybe even losing their approval. And before you can think it through, you say yes. Not because you want to, but because saying no feels uncomfortable. Now imagine this happening every single day. This is where things get interesting. People who struggle to say no aren't just avoiding conflict, they're protecting something deeper. Their sense of belonging. Psychologists often link this behavior to something called people-pleasing, a pattern where self-worth becomes tied to how others perceive you. Think about it. If your value feels dependent on being liked, helpful, or needed, then saying no doesn't just feel like rejecting a request. It feels like risking rejection itself. And this is where it gets even more subtle. Many of these patterns are formed early in life. Children who grow up in environments where approval is conditional, where love is given when they behave well, often learn to prioritize others' needs over their own. Over time, this becomes automatic. Saying yes feels safe. Saying no feels dangerous. Research in social psychology supports this. Studies on compliance, like those influenced by Robert Cialdini, show that humans are wired to avoid social rejection. We are deeply motivated to maintain harmony, even at personal cost. But for some people, this instinct is amplified. And here's what most people don't realize. Constantly saying yes doesn't just affect your time, it reshapes your identity. You begin to lose track of what you actually want. Decisions become filtered through one question: what will make others happy? Instead of what do I need? Over time, this creates a quiet kind of resentment. Not loud, not explosive, but persistent. A feeling of being used, even when no one is intentionally taking advantage. Because the truth is, when you never say no, people assume your yes is genuine. But here's the deeper insight. Inability to say no isn't really about others. It's about your relationship with discomfort. Saying no creates tension. It risks disapproval. It forces you to face the possibility that not everyone will like you. And for many people, that emotional discomfort feels unbearable. So they avoid it, they say yes. Again and again. Until one day they realize they've built a life that looks good from the outside, but feels heavy on the inside. And this is where things start to shift. Because learning to say no isn't about becoming selfish. It's about becoming honest. It's about understanding that boundaries don't push people away. They reveal who respects you enough to stay. Think about it. The people who truly value you won't disappear when you say no. But the ones who only value your compliance might. And that's not a loss. That's clarity. So the next time you feel that hesitation, that urge to say yes just to keep the peace, pause. Ask yourself one simple question. Am I choosing this, or am I afraid not to? Because sometimes the most powerful word you can say is no. And if this made you see yourself or someone else a little more clearly, consider subscribing. There's always more beneath the surface than we think.